What is the center of D&D's multiverse? Plainscape. Let's talk about that. Hey, I want Coda D comment. Time for another edition of Hobby Took the Anime. But we're in the summer of D&D Settings with my friend Magic Friend.
Hello.
Yeah, today we're going to talk about our last second edition setting, Plainscape, the center of D&D's multiverse.
Yeah, so Plainscape was originated in 1994. It's actually a take on the...
With the year I was born.
That is the year you were born. You're right. It's actually a take on the Manual of the Plains, which is a book that was in first edition, but it wasn't its own realm. This is how the designer, Zeb Cook, was asked, can you take the Manual of the Plains and turn it into a setting? And this is what we got.
Yes. This setting is very known for it's called Sigil.
Mm-hmm. Is it called Sigil?
Sigil, I mean.
Sigil. For some reason, the people designing it decided that it needed to be called, it's spelled Sigil, S-I-G-I-L, but it's pronounced
Sigil.
Right.
Yeah, Sigil's the actual name. Sigil is a type of spell term, but it's not the same word.
Mm-hmm.
One is a spell term, and the other is the setting of the center of the multiverse, which has the most powerful god, or you could not really the most powerful god, but like maybe top 5, but you still count as the most powerful goddess, the Lady of Pain.
Yeah. If you ever seen the cover of the Plainscape logo, it says Plainscape along the side, and then the center
is the Lady of Pain.
Right. Kind of a caricature, almost like a statue of the Lady of Pain.
Yes.
With her crown of needles that point
so
inward.
Important, she got her own Lego minifigure.
Yeah, she did.
Sorry, that was a joke.
Crazy crossover, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
God.
And then you have the Sigil is actually on top of the Infinity Spire. And the Infinity Spire is essentially you can call it the central point of the plane, like the focal point of the plane. Technically, because planes are ever expanding, there is no center because the center always changes, etc. It's math stuff. We don't have to get into that.
Correct. And by the way, the setting, there's only 4 ways of getting there. Two of the ways are river downwards, which represents Egyptian gods, and the up is both Nutrasil from Roman, and
Olympus.
Olympus. Yeah, sorry.
So the idea is that like Olympus is in one of the 4 plane. Olympus and Yggdrasil are in 2 of the primary planes of heaven.
Yeah.
And Styx and Odessa are in the primary planes of hell.
Right.
And there's only 2 direct paths. You can either go down those or up those massive things and usually have to deal with gods just to walk on them.
Yeah.
Or you can take a portal key.
Yes.
So what about the portals?
Well, there are 16 different portals, each with their own faction. And basically the portal key is the portal key is the main way of getting here. And basically the setting is the D&D equivalent of God Dead After Hours.
Yeah.
Where what the gods do after they're done with their shift in the day, this is their nighttime / hangout place.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Stargate, this is basically like the hub for all of the Stargates that connect planes to other planes.
Yeah. It's weird because this setting was really made because they felt like Plainscape didn't really, Spelljammer from 2 weeks ago was a good idea, but they wanted something that felt more D&D, and that's why Plainscape exists. And now let's talk about the races. There are 2 new races in the setting. One that we will see in 3rd edition, but we will mention them. Tieflings, which are basically your demon race. And basically they're the race equivalent of Raven from Teen Titans if she was in her demon form all the time instead of not accepting it.
Yeah, originally they were considered humans bonded with others, but they didn't specifically say what the other were.
We only knew they were like demon negative race.
Yes.
There's also the Ardling, which kind of doesn't count because I know in 5.5 they wanted to bring the Ardling as a thing, but they felt we have orcs and Goliaths. I feel like that made sense, but with the Ardling, they didn't.
In this, tieflings were still not player characters for a little while.
Right.
They did get updated at the end of second edition to have some ability to be kind of used as player characters, but not really.
Correct.
It wasn't until you get deep into third edition and you get into the Manual of the Plains or Planner Guide.
Yeah.
It might be the Planner Adventurer's Guide.
Yeah, pretty much.
That gave you the full-fledged rules to make player characters that were tieflings. And then fourth edition codified it. Tieflings are a thing now.
And there's a whole in-joke where back in the day when fourth edition came out, they were like, the gnomes were like, no, well, do we want me to be replaced with the tiefling? It kind of makes sense because they want to switch places with me from being a good race to a bad race. And then Tiffy's like, wait, okay, I'm going to switch places with you. And it's like, Tiffany's like, oh, fine. And it's like, do you want to switch back? No. And it's like, until 5th edition, it's like, well, sorry.
So part of that's actually a gameplay feature.
Yeah.
Tieflings were a race that was kind of taken up to start replacing some of the races that didn't fit into the mold. So at the time, to make the game simpler for people to learn, they wanted to get rid of races that were small and had to use the small movement rules.
I did not know that.
So they took out gnomes and they took out fae and added in what we have this week, which is tieflings, and what we'll talk about next week as the replacement for...
Also, Dragonborn was the other replacement class.
Dragonborn was just added in.
Right, but
the replacement class was...
Eldrin, I think?
We're going to talk about it next week. What are we talking about next week?
Oh, Everon.
Right. The Warforged ended up being the replacement for the Fae. There was like a being that was created by magic.
Right, but it's weird because the Warforged wasn't... It was a web exclusive, which was the problem with 4th edition was... It's too early to do web exclusive. This is '08 when this happened.
Right.
If it was like with 5th edition, I would say 5th edition web exclusives, good thing. 4th edition web exclusives, bad thing because of the style at the time.
We'll talk about that more next week when we get to Eberron, though.
Right. Which will be our last setting because basically the other setting, our last part's going to be now being a mashup of all the ones we can't say.
So the last big thing that's here is we have the one enemy type.
Yeah.
Modrons.
Yeah.
And Modrons, if you've been playing, you might actually have run into Duodrons a little bit more than Modrons, but they're all kind of the same. If you ever seen the show Reboot, they look like the ones and zeros from Reboot.
Yes. The show's recurring background characters who later in the show's run become random pop culture references.
Yeah.
Like Sailor Moon, the X-Files, people from the X-Files. Like, it gets really funny. I feel like the dumbest has to be the Indiana Jones that rolls with a freaking bottle, 8-ball as a freaking Indiana Jones joke.
Yeah.
God, that's funny of a title card.
And then we also have the factions.
Yeah.
So the factions are, there's 15 groups in the realm, as you alluded to with the portals.
Yeah.
And each of the group has a different philosophy. It's almost like a different religion. Some of them are like, some of them think that death is all encompassing. Right. Other ones think that gods are the one true entity in the world.
Yeah.
And almost like if, now remember, this is 1994.
The year I was born.
But this is about 10 years before Ravnica came out. And if you go through and look at the guilds in this, you will see that Ravnica, the magic set, was based on this guild mechanic.
Yes.
Or this faction mechanic.
Which we'll talk about in the finale as one section.
Yeah, when we jump up to Ravnica as a book, you'll see. Because there's a group that only likes chaos.
Yes.
Does that sound like Rakdos at all?
Yes.
There's another group that's like super law-abiding, must obey the law citizens or we'll kill you. Does that sound like Boros?
Yes.
And each faction, if we went through the factions, you'd be like, well, that just sounds like this thing from Ravnica.
But
because this is kind of where the basis was that when Wizards of the Coast bought out TSR 5 years after.
Which
5
we'll
years after the set
explain
came
next
out.
time because that's really important with 3rd edition / 3.5, but we will say that for next time.
Oh, okay.
And if you want to know more about the rise of now that TSR doesn't have the rights to D&D and now it's Wizards, find out next time where we talk about Eberron and 3rd edition entirely. Just come in saying bye-bye for now. Hope you liked the video. Leave a comment below if you like Plainscape and like that this is one of D&D's center. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts on it. Just come in saying bye-bye for now.